Hello, welcome back to the channel and another video. Just a quick intro today because I'm trying to get a couple of hours of fishing in, bit of a quicker session, and I'm in a bit of a rush. So I'm on the river, slightly different surroundings. It's a little bit less urban, but believe it or not, we are still in London, so it still counts as urban. Let's get on with it. Right, here we are. First swim. Oh, first accessible swim that I've come to. Just seen a few guys fishing down on the other side of the bridge, but they've had no luck. But they were using really big lures, and I've got a small lure on. So who knows? Fingers crossed for today. Slightly different location, feels a little bit less urban, but as I may have already said, we are still right in London, believe it or not. So it still counts. Don't know if you can see this, but as you know, it's January 2024 now, so we've had a lot of flooding in the UK recently, and where the river's flooded, it's absolutely filled the trees with just rubbish everywhere. This is usually a really nice river, especially considering where we are. We're in London, and it's usually a nice little urban oasis, but oh Jesus, I'm sinking. Just goes to show the amount of rubbish that we actually just pour in and around our sort of waterways. It's quite depressing, really. Right, let's get a cast in. Oh gosh. Might have to move swims quite rapid because I'm actually sinking. Don't know if you can see that, but my feet are actually sinking. Quite relatively fresh in the session as well, so I don't want to get soaking wet feet. Oh my lord. Oh, that's exciting. Woo. Just stopped here because it's quite a likely looking spot. If you see where I'm pointing my rod, there's a little bit of slack water just where that tree is. It's absolutely covered in rubbish. That's where the water, that's as high as the water's come, that you can see that rubbish, and it's obviously just swept down. There are a lot of factories and housing estates and stuff in the area, so it's obviously where it's all come from, but there's no excuses. That it's just horrible to see all the birds and squirrels sort of moving in amongst it and everything. It's horrible. Right, and the fish, hopefully. Let's see. Keep forgetting that this is actually sinking sand. Right, just had a bit of a disaster. I'm not having much luck at the moment. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, thoroughly soaked through. Oh my lord, I'm gonna have to invest in a pair of waders, I think. My feet are absolutely soaking. Ice cold water, but I'm sure if I just keep walking, it'll warm up, won't it? It'll be alright. Right, let's go on with it. Right, I've just come on to the back of that sort of island there, and you can see where the water, it seems to get a bit deeper and it's a bit less of a flow, so who knows, there seems to be a bit of a pool here. On the left hand side it's quite shallow, and on the right it goes quite shallow, so you've got this kind of pool in the middle here. Who knows, we'll see, eh? Oh, I was having a few casts in that last swim, and because I'm always conscious of the time, I was thinking, I know it's the middle of winter, but God, it's half getting dark early, and I've been sort of thinking, right, let's get moving, try and get in as much fishing as possible because it is getting dark, the sun's getting low, and then I realised I've got my flipping sunglasses on. So I took my sunglasses off, and hey presto, it's daytime again. Right, what I was going to do before I ended up knee deep in sludge, my feet are absolutely soaked and freezing cold now, but hey ho. So what I was going to do was take you through the setup that I'm actually using today. I don't know, you may have noticed or you may not have that I'm using a different rod than I have been previously. I've been borrowing my mate's rod for like the last 6 months. Big up Jake for lending me his rod and keeping me fishing. But I've now bought my own, so just go through it. I'm using the Abu Garcia Devil spinning rod, 9 foot. It's a little bit longer than what I would usually use. I don't usually go past sort of 6 or 7 foot, just because I fish a lot of canals and small areas where you need to get in and amongst stuff. So, but yeah, I've gone up to 9 foot this time. We'll see how I can work with it. I'm sure it'll be good. I think it's a little bit better for the casting and also playing the fish and stuff. It's a 20 to 60 gram weight, so that means that I can cast or use lures up to 60 grams for between 20 and 60. You can use lighter. It's just sort of a guidance, but I wouldn't go above 60 if it's 60 max, just because you could end up breaking the rod. That's paired up with my Shimano Sienna reel, brilliant little reel. I've had this for years. I've used it for sea fishing. I've used it for, well, everything: carp fishing, spinning, lure fishing for pike, and I've had lots of fish on it, and it's been brilliant. On there I've got 35-pound braid. A lot of people may think that's a little bit heavy, but I get snagged a lot, meaning that the lure gets caught on stuff on the bottom, and also if I was to cast into a tree or something like that, which again happens quite a lot, I can pull it free. 35-pound braid is heavy enough for me to be able to pull that free most of the time. Lures are expensive, I don't want to be losing them, and also you don't really want to be leaving sort of line, braid, traces and stuff all over the environment, in trees, under the water, etc. So I'd rather get it back. That's why I'm using heavy braid. The lure I'm currently using, just a sec, is the Abu Garcia Beast. I've never used one of these, but I have seen a lot of people using them on YouTube. They've got a huge paddle tail, as you can see, and that creates a lot of movement and vibrations underwater, which is really good. It's got a brilliant swimming action on it, very realistic. It's imitating a little perch, or well, quite a big perch, but yeah, it's imitating a perch, and hopefully we'll get smashed by a big pike. We'll see. Okay, yeah, that's the setup I'm using. Right, let's get on and use it. Right, first cast after that little piece to camera I just did about the stuff I'm using. Now, I tend to have I've got a bit of a bad history of talking about what I'm using, telling everyone about the lure that I'm using, and then immediately losing that lure. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen again, because I like this lure. Oh. When you haven't had anything for a while, every little knock and tap sends your heart racing. Guess that's a good thing about fishing. It's exciting. It's also heartbreaking. The reason I've stopped here is because, as you can see, the two rivers sort of converge here, which creates a feature. And anything like this creates like a pool where the two currents meet. Will tend to create like a deep pool. Just drop my sunglasses, where the fish can hang around. Right, so I've lost track of time here. The car park that my car's parked in shuts at 4. It's now 25 to 4. I'm quite far up the river, so it's a race against time now. Oh, wish me luck. Right, made it back to the car. Made it back in time as well to be able to do a little intro. Just got to keep checking that guy's not going to lock the gate on me whilst I'm in the car. That would be absolutely devastating. That was a bit of a panic one there. I was quite far away. I'd been fishing up the river for about an hour and a half, so I wasn't really sure how far back I had to come. So I was just going as fast as I could, and I got here in the end. So it's not the end of the world. No fish today, unfortunately. Another blank, but it was a lovely location to blank, I guess. Nice and peaceful, not really like a lot of the other urban places that I've been to recently. Yeah, nice and peaceful, a bit too peaceful, but what can you do? I just thought, because I haven't caught anything for the last couple of videos, I'll show you a session that I was on a few weekends ago with my mate. I was at home when I had a message off a friend saying it was down at Darenth Complex. I don't know if you've heard of it. He was carp fishing, but he said there are pike in here if you fancy popping down for the day, so I did. And I had a nice little surprise, which I'll show you now. Right, so just about to get to Darenth now. Darenth Fishing Complex. I've never been here before. Just invited down by my mate Jake, who's already here. But as I said, don't really know what to expect. Oh, first of all, taking the wrong turn in. It's a commercial fishery, so it's not going to be anything too wild, but as I say, I've never actually been to this one before. Not my cup of tea really, commercial fisheries, but it's last minute and I haven't put any line in the water for a long time, so it's a chance to get someone on the bank hopefully. Right, so I just paid for my day ticket. Geezer said that when you get down to the other car park, it's a lot of mud. He was like, you are going to need wellies. Well, I haven't got wellies, so we'll see how it goes. Right, so just parked the car, and I'm now on my way to meet Jake on Darenth Fishing Complex. Oh. As I said, the guy in the shop said you will need wellies because it's that muddy. Fingers crossed. I don't need wellies because I haven't got any wellies. Very annoyed. I've just moved up the lake slightly. I keep moving up swim by swim every like 5-10 minutes. And as I've come into the swim, I've just thrown my net down like an absolute noddy, like an idiot. And in the swim there, just in the bin, was a nice pike. I mean, not massive, below £10, but it was a nice size. And it's just spooked off. But who knows? It's a good sign in a way. Maybe it hasn't gone too far. I'm just gonna try a little bit close in and just see. You never know, do you? Right, so I just switched onto a brightly coloured jig head, and I was actually not very confident at all, but I'm in. Oh, it's a nice fight, that. Let's see what it is. Come on, mate, out of there. Don't like it down there, do I? Mate, I've always been of the opinion with pike that they like drag in, but this isn't dragging in, this is fighting. Assuming it's a pike.
You're a small cat. Or a big perch.
Or a big perch, mate.
A big pike, isn't it?
There we go, come on. No. I just feel it bouncing off stuff, mate, and I don't like it. Nerve-wracking, innit?
Hogging the bottom, isn't he?
There he is. What was that, mate?
Haven't seen it.
Oh,
Pretty dark.
catfish. Mate!
Bring him in.
Yeah, boy. Well, I didn't expect that. Nice little catfish. Right, so there she is. Nice little catfish. Right, let's get her back eventually. Oh, even my bloody GoPro thing's even covered in slime. Everything's covered in slime.
Yeah, that's the only one thing I found in catching.
Let's get her back.